Welcome into another episode of Chic and Ball. I'm your host, Els the Truth, and as we continue our review of each WNBA team from worst to first, today's show will be about the Dallas Wings, who went 9-31. We got a lot of players featured on today's show, but I want to start with second-year head coach Latricia Trammell. After a pretty successful season in 2023, she saw the bottom fall out this year like the bag got wet at the bottom. This team very early in the season had an 11-game losing streak, and it was pretty obvious they weren't going to have a good season. Not only did they lose 11 in a row at one point, they also lost their last 9 games of the season. And again, that's coming off a 2023 season where the Wings went 22-18 and made the playoffs. Now they did have some injuries with Satou Sabally, Maddy Siegrist, and Natasha Howard, amongst other players got injured very early in the year. They also chose to go young and kept 5 rookies as opposed to only having 1 rookie last year. But I don't know, does that go on the head coach a little bit? They do have some control over the rosters, who makes the team and who making plays out there on the court. They control the minutes and rotations. But I like Coach Trammell. I know for a fact that she loved the game and cares about those players. So much so when the team broke that 11-game losing streak, she was seen on the sideline literally crying tears of joy. Literally, grown woman crying about winning the game. I know she and that team was in a dark place for her to bring out them tears like that. Coach Trammell spent 5 years as an assistant before getting the head coaching job in 2023, 31-49 in her tenure, dismissed as coach. We wish her success if she decides to continue coaching. And now, I want to talk about the players, and let's start with the 5 rookies, beginning with Jaelyn Brown. Jay Brown made the team as an undrafted free agent out of Cal, but got injured very early in the season. She played in Game 1 of the year on May 15, 2024. Because of injuries in the breakout game in the preseason, JB actually started Game 1 in the regular season. Then, she got hurt and didn't see the court again until August 16, 2024. More than 3 months of time missed on the court. That pretty much changed her role on the team, and she was back grinding from the bottom again. But her minutes increased a whole lot during the last 5 games of the year, so that shows she was getting healthy and now playing people in practice. And trust me, she'll be a key pickup for someone in free agency if she don't decide to stay with Dallas. JB one of those unconscious scorers, so she gonna land somewhere and she gonna be dropping buckets. And it kinda makes you ask, how do you miss players like this in the draft? And now let's talk about...
And with the 5th pick in the 2023 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Lopez Sénéchal, the University of Connecticut.
Up and down year as to be expected coming off a serious knee injury, which kept her out all of 2023. I still think she'll develop into a nice floor general. She's still very young and has a lot of physical growth that she can do, but she can build to become a much better player. In 27 games played, she didn't even average a point and shot less than 30% from the field. So we got to get a whole lot better than that, but she coming out of UConn, so we got a lot of faith in her to grow. Now let's talk about Sevgi Uzun. 26-year-old rookie out of Turkey, played in all 40 games for Dallas, very heavy part of the rotation. She started in 19 games for Dallas, and she really just didn't mesh well with the team or the personalities. She missed a lot of open shots and connected on just 23% from 3. However, she was second on the team in total assists, so that is a feather in her cap. But we wish her well on her basketball journey. I'm sure it'll continue. Now I want to talk about Stephanie Soares. Similar to Lou Lopez, Steph missed all of 2023 with a knee injury, so I'm giving her grace for this year. I really like her game, extremely long, listed at 6'6". She's a high-volume shot blocker, and she can stretch the floor out to the three-point line. She struggled to find minutes behind vets Teaira McCowan and Kalani Brown, only played in 8 minutes per game. Started in 3 games, and in one of those games she had 9 rebounds and 4 blocks. And that was against Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. I don't think coach really gave her a fair shot on the court, and she couldn't really get a rhythm, but I promise you this, she will be a force in this league and a key part of someone's rotation. Now let's talk about.
With the 5th pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Jacy Sheldon, Ohio State University.
One of my fave young players in the W. Just need to keep building your confidence, girl. She played like a rookie. Took her lumps, 38% from the field. We know that got to get better. She played her way into being a full-time starter. Not sure how long that'll last with Dallas getting the #1 pick, but she is a good fit on this team. She's now ball dominant. Take this offseason, girl, and get stronger. Get better at finishing through contact, and we'll see you back next year better than ever. Now let's talk about Natasha Howard. Despite the poor season for the team, Natasha Howard had a really good season scoring the ball. This being her 10th year, she had her second highest scoring season with 17.5. She missed a little over a month after playing in Game 1 for the Wings. She hinted at possibly joining another team in 2025. I'll be sure to keep y'all posted with that news. That being said, Natasha Howard has a lot left in the tank, and wherever she lands, she'll be bringing that 3-time WNBA championship experience right along with her. Now let's talk about Odyssey Sims. Played in 9 games for Dallas, started in 7. She averaged 17 points, 5 assists, and almost 2 steals. Shot 53% from the field and 50% from 3. Vintage girl, keep on busting their head out there, vet. Now let's talk about the beautiful Monique Billings. She is such a joy to watch play basketball, gives her all from minute 1 to the last minute of the game. I said earlier in the year that I think she's the fastest big in the W. When you watch her play, just watch how fast she runs the floor. It's like a horse galloping, she covers so much ground out there. I don't know why, but she only was able to get a hardship deal with Dallas because of the injuries, but I can promise you next year her contract will be guaranteed. She gave Dallas 8-6 as a part-time starter, and I mean that literally, 24 games and 12 starts, but a career high in points and field goal percentage. Now let's talk about Kalani Brown. Kalani shockingly actually had a down year. Shocking to me, because I picked her to be 6th Woman of the Year, but she played in 39 games for Dallas, heavy part of the rotation, just couldn't get no rhythm. Her point average went down, rebound average went down, field goal percentage and free throw percentage also down, and she just didn't play consistent enough to warrant more than 13 minutes a game. I know she can play better than what she showed this year, so we'll wait and see where she lands in 2025. Now let's talk about Maddy Siegrist. Maddy is one of the best scorers the college game has ever seen. That's why she went number 3 overall, all that goddamn talent. She was finally starting to get comfortable. She was having a great season, averaging 14 points over the first 13 games. Then she got hurt. She missed over a month and more than 10 games. Then when she came back, she only averaged 4 points over the last 14 games. So I think once healthy, she won't be quite that Maddy at Villanova, but she will be able to score. Even with the drop in scoring at the end of the season, Maddy still finished 4th in the W in offensive rating.
That is amazing. Maddy Siegrist doing.
All right, next up, I want to talk about.
With the 3rd pick in the 2019 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Teaira McCowan from Mississippi State University.
She gave you what she was going to give you this year. That's as best as I can describe it. She's basically still the same player since her rookie year. I mean, I guess we can give her credit for improving her free throw percentage, but outside of that, over the last 3 years, including 2024, she's averaging about 11-8 for Dallas. She doesn't block shots. She can't keep up with the likes of Stewie, Asia, or Nafisa, and I think her days with the Wings may be numbered, or at least as a full-time starter. If this team really want to get better and really chase championships, it has to get quicker in the front court. And I think that's the same problem in Indiana with the Fever and a lot of other teams. Asia, Fee, and Stewie are so dynamic, and you can even throw Alyssa Thomas in there. You need some players that can really keep up with them that's able to slow them down. If not, then those three, Asia, Stewie, and Fee specifically, they can go all around the world with it. And they make it hard for players like T-Mac and Kalani Brown to even stay on the court with them. I do like T-Mac. She is a very good basketball player, don't get me wrong. But this Dallas team need to play fast to be successful. And playing fast, unfortunately, that's T-Mac's kryptonite. Next up, let's talk about...
With the second pick in the 2020 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Satou Sabally from the University of Oregon.
If you're an avid listener and watcher of the show, then you know I love me some Satou. I rated her 4th best player in the W before the 2024 season. Then it was announced she would be missing basically the entire first half of the season. She came back and played the last 15 games and looked like her old self. Get this, 6 games with 20 or more, 4 of those games being more than 25, 9 games with 7 or more rebounds, 8 games with 6 or more assists. On top of that, she shot a career high 45% from 3. And that's why we call her the unicorn. She can do it all at a very high level. Now, the team only went 3-12 in the game she played in, so her playing didn't really make much of a difference, and the team had already built bad habits. The stench of losing was already in that locker room. I really hope she stays on this team and gets to keep growing with Arike and Paige, but she is a free agent, so we're going to keep our eye on it and see how the situation play out. And to close things out, let's talk about the leader of the Dallas Wings. You know who I'm talking about.
2019 WNBA Draft, the Dallas Wings select Arike Ogunbowale from the University of Notre Dame.
She has to be one of the happiest and saddest players in the W. Sad about this past season, happy to be picking number 1 in the draft. Quietly, she had a great season. 22 points, career high 5 assists, and she should have averaged maybe 7-8 assists, but the team wasn't hitting shit, let's be honest. When they needed her to do more, she did more. She averaged a career high in rebounds, led the league in steals, led the league in free throw percentage, and she also won All-Star Game MVP. She played as consistent as she's played her entire career. She did even more with the absence of the key players on the team. And let me also say to y'all fools that think she can't play with Paige Beckers, are you dumb or just stupid? Arike is a willing passer. Look how well Satou played next to Arike. And Satou is very ball dominant. She became one of the top players in the league next to Arike. Don't forget when Arike won that national title at Notre Dame, that team had Marina Mabrey and Jackie Young. We all know where Jackie Young went in the draft, and Marina Mabrey is a great pro player, even better than she was in college. Point is, Arike played and won with great players before. We know she can deliver the big shot. She gonna take so much pressure off of Paige. Trust me guys, this is probably best case scenario as far as Paige being able to develop in the league. I know it'd be sexier to put her next to Rakia and Cam, but they ain't ready to win yet. And Paige would go into LA being the number 1 option as a rookie. That's a lot of pressure for a team that finished with a bad record. She ain't gonna be able to turn them sparks around. They garbage right now. Dallas, they actually have a really good team. They was really kind of just hurt by injury, so this is really the lottery for them. If they can play like they played in 2023, then they're going to be right back in the playoffs next year with another killer. If they can somehow keep Satou and bring in their version of a big 3, all homegrown through the draft, this team will be a team to beat in about 2-3 years. But there it is. Give it to me in the comments. How did you like this team? Who do you want to see back? A lot of people didn't like that the Wings got the number 1 pick, so what are your thoughts on the draft lottery? We're going to continue to do our reviews of each team, but I'm going to drop a mock draft in there sometime pretty soon, so make sure y'all lock in for that. But that's all for now. Thank you for listening and watching. I'm Els for PRM. Talk to you on the next one.